Today's video was inspired by one of you, Maximus Ease, who asked me in the comment section why people spend hundreds of dollars on Star Citizen. Hello people of the verse and welcome to this channel. It's the Eradicator, and in this video we'll talk about the act of financially backing the Star Citizen project and what can possibly justify the spendings of several hundreds, if not thousands of euros or dollars into this game. But before we move on, guys, please make sure to check out the Eradicators, which is my other channel where I cover everything that's non-Star Citizen related. With the ongoing E3 event, there has been a ton of new content flowing over there, and there may be some videos you could be interested in. Also, subscribing to this channel and my other channel is a prerequisite to get a chance to win this amazing Nova tank. You will have to also answer the giveaway question and ask later throughout this video. Also, Patreon and Join Button members should have access to my Discord channel where I run monthly giveaways as well. This month, it's an RSI Scorpius with LTI. Good luck to everyone out there. So, to answer Maximus's question, I think that spending large amounts of money on Star Citizen is not something that everyone should do, nor is something that everyone has to do in any capacity. The first thing that needs to be reminded is that you don't have to. You can play the game with a $45 Aurora, do some regular missions, and then rent a better ship if you need to do some combat or transport an ROC you'd have bought because it's pretty cheap and very profitable. Also, there are tons of players who need crew for their ships, so if you really need to experience what it's like to be inside one of the most expensive ships of the verse, you can always ask in the chat, and there will always be someone who will agree to take you in for the simple fact that Star Citizen is a game that's best enjoyed with other people. And the thing is that there are people who do have this mindset. For example, Star Citizen is just a game, and they pay for the price you would pay for most games and just enjoy the game the way it is, and that's totally fine. In fact, one could argue that this is probably the best way to enjoy the game, and these people enjoy the game more than people who spend hundreds or thousands of dollars because they get the excitement of upgrading their base ships with more expensive, superior vessels, something that people who buy their ships for hundreds of dollars with real cash won't have. The other reason why you shouldn't spend large sums of money in the game is, of course, if you can't afford it. And this is something that I'll confess I personally did back in 2013 when I bought ships like Starfarers, Retaliators, and even the Banu Merchantmen. And oh boy, they were very cheap back then, much cheaper than they are now, but they still cost several hundreds of dollars. And quite frankly, this was money that I should have spared instead of spending, because 2 years later, I ended up moving to Taiwan, and after spending large amounts of money to install my family here, I didn't have enough money to buy a computer, which I really needed for work. So I had to get some of my ships refunded, and this was not really smart, and it is something that I am ashamed of. So don't be like me, do not spend hundreds of dollars if this is not something that you can reasonably do, especially since, as mentioned earlier, you don't really need to. However, there are, as you know, quite a few people who do spend more than theoretically need, so there are a few examples why. And I would say that the most common would be the people who do not have much time to play to grind. And sure, it takes a relatively short time to upgrade from an Aurora to an Avenger Titan, but it takes a much longer time if you want something like a Freelancer Max or a Constellation of your own. And I say of your own because you can always rent it, but as mentioned before, the option is for people who do not have enough time and thus not enough time to get a return on investment when they are renting a ship. Now the next case would be when people want to treat themselves, and some people just have the luxury of having disposable income that they can spend on virtual ships, and so they decide to buy a ship that they really want. And there can be plenty of reasons for that. It can either be because the concept is awesome and they want to get it on day one at a cheaper price when it gets released, like the recent RSI Scorpius, which I'm giving away on Discord, or the Gatak Raylan, or because they want to show off, which is the only reason of flying an 890 jump solo, and some people do that because they love also certain professions like mining, and again did not bother grinding for the ship and certainly don't want to grind again the next time there'll be a wipe. Next, there are people like yours truly and tens of thousands of other people who just want to see this project succeed and understand that in order to succeed, Cloud Imperium need funding. And there are many people out there who have been dreaming of a game like this, where you can fly in space, seamlessly transition from space to planet ground while leaving your seat of your ship, going through the interior of your ship, open the door and find yourself on the planet of a different world. How many other games allow you to do this in 2021 with Star Citizen's fidelity? Well, the answer is none. And the reason why this hasn't been done before and was deemed impossible by a lot of naysayers is because of the technological hurdles that this challenge represents. It has required technologies that have taken years to develop and are still not rolled out yet, like iCache, which is almost done, but especially server meshing, which is going to allow CIG to open the floodgates of content and increase the amount of players per instance. And let's remember that there has already been technologies that have been released already that have allowed the game to make some progress. Let's keep in mind how long we were stuck in Alpha 2.x until finally planetary tech and object container streaming came in. Now, I hear people saying that the reason why we don't have any of the content or technology promised is precisely because we keep on donating money for the project. After all, why would CIG work that hard to provide us with meaningful updates if the money keeps coming? And that, I'm sorry, but I believe that this argumentation is plain rubbish. First, CIG has about 600 employees right now, and all of these people need to get paid and given competitive salaries on top of that because we need some of the best programmers, engineers, and designers given the enormous task that creating Star Citizen represents. All of this costs money and explains why, despite all of the donations and record funding, CIG is yet to make any profit. Then, if we stopped giving CIG money, given the fact that they have not made a profit yet, undesirable effects probably would happen. One of them being the possible purchase of CIG by a large company like EA, Microsoft, Activision, or Ubisoft. And these publishers only care about money, they want return on investments, and they want them fast at the expense of quality and player experience, as we've seen with Cyberpunk 2077. It's also what we saw with Freelancer back in 2003, which was Chris Roberts' last project in the video gaming world before starting Star Citizen in 2012. Or it could get even worse, and Cloud Imperium could go bankrupt with no one interested in taking over the project due to the huge challenges that it would represent, and the game would be abandoned, meaning that everyone would have lost everything. And finally, there are the people who we could qualify as completionists. They want to support the project, they are huge fans of Cloud Imperium's work, and they want to have everything. And quite frankly, there are more people like this than what you could think. I personally know a few of them who spent well over $27,000 that were required to join the highest tiers of concierge level, and the answer as of why they spend so much money has always been the following. Because they can, because they want to support Cloud Imperium, and because they want to own everything. And there are a lot of people out there who do criticize them, calling them whales, irresponsible, or the very reason why CIG is focusing more on selling ships and delivering content. And I think that these completionists are actually doing the community a favor, because they are spending that much money so that you don't have to spend it in order to keep the project somewhat afloat. So there you have it, guys, why some people spend more than the $45 needed to have access to the game. And I think that in the end, Star Citizen is an amazing project that genuinely aims at breaking technological hurdles that have made making games of this scale impossible. And I don't think that anyone truly imagined how difficult it would have been to make it a reality, not even Chris Roberts back in 2012. However, for a lot of us, it's not the destination that matters, but the journey, the feeling of being part of this project of making the game. For me and many other people, Star Citizen is a masterpiece in the making, and everyone knows that masterpieces can take incredible amounts of time and resources to be finished. But please, let me know in the comment section down below, as this is the giveaway question: what kind of backer are you? Did you recognize yourself in one of the cases that I mentioned, or is your situation different? Tell us everything. And that's it for today, guys. I was hoping to make a patch note video about 3.14 Evo Caddy, but apparently the Evo Caddy build has failed again. Rumor has it that Crusader's atmosphere is technically challenging, so I guess that we'll see how it goes within the next couple of days. Stay tuned to the channel, as we'll have a roadmap update tomorrow, probably the last one before the Evo Caddy phase, so be on the lookout for that one. Have a wonderful day, guys. Stay safe out there. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is The Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.